we would be taking the questions at the end of the session. So if you have any questions, you can write to us on the chat, or post his session. We will open the Q&A towards the end, where you can directly unmute yourself and ask Mr. Jai your questions. Okay, so with this, I hand over the session to Mr. Jai.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a great introduction. I'm overwhelmed with the introduction, and I'm humbly excited to have this session with you all. Well, so I have total 20 years of experience working in IT, predominantly in 3PL supply chain. Every day is a learning for me. I know only tip of the iceberg. So that's a vast of in depth of logistics and supply chain today. Every day is new demand, new business requirements, new customer onboarding. So everything is changing, economy is changing. So as I said, nobody is expert. We know only a little bit. So I'll try to explain what I understood, what I learned from this FedEx supply chain, what the business is leading towards, what we are delivering, what we have within our ecosystem. So yes, thanks again for the profile. So to start my career, I was a commerce student, or into financials. Then I learned business through MBA, but I've been keeping myself up to date with the technology. So I did the different diplomas and post-graduation diplomas and various certifications outside the college. So that's how I kept my technology, hungry, satisfied, rather. So I'm more of a business and a technologist delivering business value with a deep passion and commitment, empowering the team or the people. So I try to lead the teams towards a unified that seamlessly integrates innovative IT solutions with the strategic business objectives. So that's my goal, and that's how I've been doing that. Even though we we talk about business and technology, end of the day, it is people. That's what I'm always passionate about, leading the teams. So FedEx is a 50-year-old company. The culture at FedEx, we broadly, talk about how we think and how we work and what we deliver to our customers. The first one is the PSP. This is how we think. Every employee in FedEx, we think about PSP, people, service, profit. We treat people to the utmost respect so that they serve our customers, both internal and external, to deliver whatever is being committed. Thereby, we can earn the profit, which we in turn will invest on the people. It's a circle of people, service, profit is our philosophy. How we work, it's called quality-driven management, shortly QDM. QDM is developed by FedEx, it's built by FedEx, and optimized for FedEx operation. It's a disciplined, objective approach to quality improvement that's used at the enterprise-wide. So the processes that we use helped us to get the first transportation company, the ISO certification in 1994. Coming to the Purple Promise, every employee within FedEx, we have a commitment. We want to make every FedEx experience outstanding. That is our commitment of every FedEx employee. These are the basics of the foundation. That is how the company has been built. And it is not new. It's been defined 50 years back, and will continue. This was defined by our leader, Fred Smith. Now, FedEx, I'm sure many of you heard about FedEx. As you see in the background of Wutsav, there is a package. So predominantly, people think FedEx is a shipping company. They deliver packets, right? But FedEx is a global logistics organization where it has different deliverables, different opcos, different business functions. If you look into the logistics, once a businessman gets an idea, to convert that idea into the actual consumption, there is a lot more process involved. So converting idea into the actual consumption. So I try to depict that process in this small diagram here. Once a person gets an idea, you need to get the design, blueprint or whatnot, and work with a manufacturer. A manufacturer can be local or international. Predominantly, most of the production is happening for US is outside the country, China. So once the idea is given to the manufacturer, he will convert that into a product that need to ship over the ocean, gets into the warehouse. We do some activity there. We'll talk about that. Then that will get distributed to either retail stores or sometimes directly to the consumers. After this is called forward logistics, from manufacturer all the way to the consumer, forward logistics. Sometimes the consumer may or may not like the product and he wishes to return the product. He may go back to the retail store, return the product, or a consumer from home, he can request for returns. It will come back to either warehouse, sometimes return centers, sometimes retail store itself. And then there is something happens at that facility once you get the product back. We'll talk about it in the next slides. So if you see in this entire flow, FedEx plays different roles. If a product need to move from international border, you need to get the clearance. Every product has its own classification and there are different rules. FedEx, with this, their data, they have rich in understanding the classification, how to get clearance of every product. Once the clearance is done, we need to get the tariffs. With the recent changes in the tariff, FedEx moved on making multiple enhancements to the product. So we get the tariffs settled and then move the product on the ocean. Once it comes to the port or a dock, that need to move to warehouse. So we have FedEx Freight, which will help to move the product. We call this as a LTL-TL. Sometimes it could be less than truckload. Sometimes it could be full truckload. In either way, FedEx facilitates our customers to move the products either through LTL or TL. Once that gets into warehouse, we will do the distribution, fulfillment or whatnot, and then that goes to retailer or consumer. Now, once from the warehouse to the retailer or consumer, it may be small parcels. So we may use FedEx Ground, or we may use FedEx Express if it is a quicker delivery. A small packets you wanted to get within 24 hours, you can use air shipment through FedEx Express. And if you see FedEx Office, so throughout the country, we have FedEx Office where a consumer can go to that store. FedEx Office is a physical store and then return the product there. And then they take care of sending back to the warehouse. Since there are many customers may return small parcels or small packets, we can consolidate all of them into a full pallet and send back to the customer. So we use the FedEx cross-border. So cross-border is a company or as an opco where we consolidate small shipment pallets, small shipments to pallet for cost optimization, and then we get the clearance as well. Now, if you see here, re-commerce is another opportunity. So once you get the products back into the warehouse, there are various reasons the products come back to the warehouse. Not only the customer returns, but it could be overstock, right? It could be, expired products. They don't know what to do. So we do the re-commerce of those returned products as well. So in the warehouse distribution systems, so we have expertise integrating with different WMS and other products and systems through automation. So we have experience in tools and optimization techniques and processes for labor management as well. In the fulfillment area, so when it comes to fulfillment, customers are placing orders throughout the day. We have a logic in place where we consolidate and then we run the waves that call a wave is a process where you can for a particular time you can consolidate orders and run to the respective distribution sites or consumers. That way you can optimize what orders should go to what retail store. So we do in the fulfillment side, we will do optimization of distribution as well. Not only that, there are customers who sells the products on different sales channels. So we have integration with different sales channels so that we can get orders from multiple sources of the same customer so that we can optimize the distribution. And the reverse logistics, which is very unique, not many players in this market. So we are specialized in returns or reverse logistics. So there are specific business rules we implement so that it can be tailored for our customers. I have a slide on that. We'll talk more in details about reverse logistics. Overall, where I'm going is FedEx is a global logistics organization. It plays different roles in the areas that is needed for our customer. Today's session is about deep dive into the supply chain. That's where my expertise are. So even though the ecosystem has lot many functions and opcos, my focus is on the warehouse distributions, FedEx supply chain. I have a minute or so a video about what is FedEx supply chain, what we offer. Let me try to play. If you don't hear, please shout at me.
FedEx Supply Chain powers your business with a full circle suite of proven custom solutions designed to help you streamline with automation, increase efficiency through warehousing, distribution, and forward logistics, and improve performance in fulfillment centers. We can also help simplify returns, which can help you boost profitability with reverse logistics and keep your business optimized with expert repair and refurbishment services. Our automated solutions provide visibility, control, and efficiency to help you achieve a competitive advantage in today's market.
I know that was a quick round of what supply chain is all about. The URL is given there. In a nutshell, that's a commercial though. I'm not here to sell the product, rather share what I know. So you can take a look at. So in this video, we try to explain about our distribution, fulfillment, reverse logistics, and value-added services. I will go in details in the next few slides about it. Now, we as a FedEx supply chain, we are one of the top 3PL in North America. So we have about more than 130 warehouse distribution centers span across US, Canada, and of course, Mexico. Predominantly in US, that's where most of my visits, operations that happen. We are about more than 15,000 employees in the OpCo. I'm talking about FedEx Supply Chain, not FedEx. So we do provide different solutions like warehouse, returns, and fulfillment solutions. So again, I have a slide to deep in what exactly it means. And various value-added services, transportation is one of them. In warehouses, typically pick, pack, ship is what happens. Once the inventory comes into the building, place the inventory into different locations. Whenever order gets downloaded, pick it, pack, and ship. Sounds simple, but it has its own varieties of needs. Again, I will explain about why it differs from customer to customer. Now, every company, every organization you see, the growth happens through mergers and acquisitions. Typically, it's called M&As. Supply chain is no different. So, Genco is one of the company formed in 1898. So Genco predominantly built on the reverse logistics, and then it had a lot of acquisitions. If you see, in 1971, it started offering public warehousing. 89, developed a return process. So in 1989, until Genco kind of started building the return processes, it is very weak in that area. So Genco took a step, automated that process, and became pioneer in the returns process at the time. And 1999 acquired Cumberland. 2003 Ivogist. 2005 Capital Returns, and 10 ATC. So until 2010, Genco is growing through acquisitions. In 2015, FedEx acquired Genco. So if you see, I started with FedEx in 1997. I started working for FedEx in India. 98, I came to Memphis. 2002, I joined Genco. 2015, FedEx acquired Genco. That's how I was back into FedEx. Anyway, so in 2015, after FedEx acquired Genco, even though Genco was predominantly reverse, FedEx is in the forward. The blend helped to grow this supply chain division within FedEx. So with current operations, not only in US, we also expanded our operations across the globe. So not only US and Canada, we are also having presence international in different countries. Now, where do we impact in that ecosystem? So if you look at, we work with the different customers, like as I said, 130 operations plus. We have consumers, retail, healthcare, industrial, and technology. These are the different business verticals. Each business vertical comes with their own specific needs. When you say consumer, we are talking about food and beverage companies. So, it could be, beauty and personal care. For example, we have Estee Lauder, is a company where they use beauty products. We have Amplifies, they're like a popcorn company. Ferrero Rocher, it's like candies. I'm sure many of you know that. Warby Parker, they build. I mean, they produce specs or goggles. T3 Micro, they are a jewelry company. So in the consumer vertical, we have many customers where they need special processing. Now coming to retail vector, our retail business vertical, we have Target, we have Dollar General, we have Bedrock, where Filzer and Shinola are the two brands they sell, like watches, backpacks, and everything. So there are big players in the retail. In the retail market, they predominantly have large volume of inventory to be processed, like LTL and TLs. Consumer, it's more of a small packets, like they're more of e-commerce kind of sites. So we have the distribution center and we send a lot of parcels. But in retail, less parcels, more LTL and TL. And in the technology space, we have AT&T, like a T-Mobile, Dell, HP, where they have like either laptops, modems, phones, different kinds of phones, lot of electronic products that we manage. And the healthcare space, we have Sequel Med, Outset Medical, Stryker, Lantheus. These are all very specific healthcare processes that they need. When I say healthcare, the government instructs to follow some kind of regulations called good manufacturing practices. It's called HIPAA. I don't know how many of you heard about HIPAA. It's called Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So whenever you do some processing within that healthcare domain, you need to follow the government guidelines. So your systems should support. That could be encryption, it could be whatnot. And people who work in healthcare industry, where they have access to certain data, they need to go through some certification, which is not required for consumer retail and tech verticals. And in the industrial, that's more of automotive products, like Brook Brothers. I don't know whether you heard about Brother, but they sell industrial products and parts, spare parts. iFit is one of them. So every business vertical, as you see, there is very specific process and needs. Sometimes heavy automation is needed. Sometimes heavy human touch is needed. And not only that, just hands-on, but also we need to print specific documentation around each business vertical. This could change by vertical, by customer. So the system should support what is the process that this customer needs, what documentation that need to be printed. So that's a core business. WMS is the core business. We enhance the core business with additional value-added services. Like you heard about a lot of transportation that is happening within this ecosystem. That could be small parcels, that could be LTLs and TLs, like less than truckload and truckload. We, as part of WMS, third-party logistics, when we are running the warehouse for a customer, our customer may request to work with other transportation carriers, need not be FedEx. We as a 3PL, we have to integrate with not only FedEx, but also other transportation vendors, many players in the transportation. So WMS, our software, our services integrates with different transportation companies. We also have negotiated 18,000 plus carriers across the country. We have a negotiated rates so that we can give better transportation rates to our customers. We also provide co-pack. That means it's not what you get and what you send. Sometimes for specific reasons, we need to build kitting. It's called kitting or co-pack, sometimes called kitting. That means sometimes, it's a school time where they wanted to make pen, pencil, razor, and book together and ship as one unit. Even though these are all individual pieces, I can sell pens separately, pencils separately. But sometimes they want to make it a combo, right? So at the warehouse, we make these or co-packs or kitting and then distribute those final product. So we provide such services. Sometimes etching, right? When you said you wanted to print special birthday wishes on a pen or any other product that you are distributing, right? And watches, right? So we also do provide such services as part of value-added services. Of course, there is a cost associated to it. Recycling. It's a lot of companies, it is painful. They don't know what to do with the products that is expired. So, and also you cannot just do the landfill, right? So we do provide services on recycling with the expertise that we have. We optimize how to recycle those products. We have ways to reduce the carbon footprint in this area as well. Liquidations. So as I said, customers will return the product. It could be surplus inventory, who knows? It's a fresh, brand new product. Or it could be overstock sitting in the retail store, they want to send it back. When the Christmas comes, they wanted to put a different inventory in their stores, right? It's a seasonal. In the winter, they want to put a different inventory versus summer. So the stores, they wanted to ship the inventory that they don't need back into the warehouse. When the inventory comes back from either customer or retail stores, we have a way to process those returns. It's called liquidation. Either we try to put that inventory back into the e-commerce stores or distribute that inventory to a secondary market. There is a secondary market in the country. Or part of that liquidation, we remove the brand labels because many people, they say that I don't want to sell my product in the secondary market. So we change the brand or remove the brand. or we may sell this liquidated inventory back into international market. Sometimes our customers, they may say that to donate the goods or destroy. So there are various ways that we process this liquidation items. On the other hand, if it is a technical product like a laptop or a phone, we do have a test, repair, and refurb process. We are going to see what is the product that can be repurposed. We will grade them, grade A, grade B, grade C, or whatnot. Depending on the grading, we'll try to optimize the asset. Sometimes the product may not be useful, but we will harvest the parts in the product. We'll take out maybe a part of the entire finished goods may be useful. So we'll harvest the parts. That's called dekitting kind of. Damage research. So if you see in this entire system of logistics, once the product comes out of manufacture, it will be a lot of touch points before it goes to the consumer. During in this process, product may get damaged. So the customer, they wanted to know what is the percentage of the damage. Is it 1% or 10%? Where is this happening? How to stop the bleeding? So with the ecosystem that we have, with the data that we have knowledge in identifying where the damage is happening, what controls that we can put around to reduce the damage so that we can reduce the overall cost of this. So we do the root cause analysis, and then we will provide the best optimal processes that the customer should adopt. So we do have service. It's just a service to do the root cause analysis for the damages that the customer is having. Now, in FedEx Supply Chain, predominantly we are focusing on providing services or the solutions in 4 areas. As part of mergers and acquisitions, FedEx Supply Chain have different WMS solutions, but currently we are focusing on 4 areas: FLAIR, forward logistics, and reverse execution. That's what is FLAIR meant for. We are building this platform past 5 years. This is a proprietary solution where we defined the processes that are needed for our operations. We defined our own standard processes and enable those standard processes on this platform. This FLAIR application will be helpful for multiple business verticals like consumer, retail, tech, and industrial, but not healthcare. Healthcare needs additional processing that we did not enable on FLAIR, but all other vectors has. It's homegrown, only like 5 years into its life. So today, we offer this solution to small to medium customers. By default, it comes with the core features, but when we are onboarding a new customer, depending on the requirement, we enable edge features, a customer-specific feature. This is the quickest and lower cost to implement and support. The next offering we have is Purple Parachute. Manhattan is one of the the strongest player in WMS market, 3PL markets. They're on the right side of the quadrant when you look into WMS. So when these WMS softwares are the commercial products in the market, they build for the industry. They are not tailored for our need. So we took this Manhattan as a 3PL WMS product. We defined our own processes so that we can quickly implement the customers. It's not cheap, but it will suit the specific needs of industry. So we offer standard WMS, standard Manhattan through Purple Parachute offering. Then we took the standard Manhattan product. We added additional controls. There are about 130 controls that we need to enable for HIPAA. Then DSCSA is Drug Supply Chain Security Act. There are additional controls that are needed on top of HIPAA for healthcare. So we are working on enabling those additional controls and offering through Standard Healthcare Plus. Any healthcare customer comes, we have an environment to onboard that's called Standard Healthcare Plus. This is, you will have patient information in this, because part of distribution, we send the shipments to the patients. As part of HIPAA control, not everybody should know about nobody should know what is the product that we are shipping to the patient unless patient approves. Since we are 3PL, we are not supposed to know what is that getting shipped to the customer. So there is a tricky or very difficult to encryption that we need to do so that people will not know what kind of product we are shipping it to the customer. So there is a process involved and certification involved in this area as well. There are some customers, they need heavy automation, highly customized solution. Then we will have a separate or dedicated environment to manage that customer need, like Target, right? So we have a custom solution, which is very expensive, but this will help the customer to play around, customize whatever they wanted. So these are the 4 offerings that currently we have, and then we manage through our customers. Now, I know we spoke a lot about warehouse management. So when I say warehouse management, it is not about just the solution. It's not just about IT. We also play a bigger role in refining the design of the warehouse. We also help on the network, where this warehouse should be located, and how do you organize your warehouse within the building. Where do you need docks, dock doors, I mean. How you wanted to organize your locations. Where is your picking? Where is your packing, pack stations, printers? So whatever that goes within the building, through our engineering, we offer that service as well. So we design or redesign accordingly. It's not once you set up the design, you're all done. Every customer will have a peak. When I mean peak, what I mean by peak is there are times the volumes will increase. For some people, Christmas is peak. For some people, college days at the starting of the college is peak, right? So every customer will have their own peak times. When there is a peak, how you need to redesign your warehouse also is important so that you can manage the volume. So not only solutions and the design, we also provide performances. There are customer specific KPIs we need to meet. How many orders that you can process, how many loads of inventory that you take, how many picks that each person should pick. So every activity that goes within the WMS being tracked through our LMS, labor management systems. So as I said earlier, so there is a lot of automation that goes in, depends on the customer. We do use a lot of material handling and robots within the warehouse. So part of that warehouse management, we provide all those services. Systems and IT, part of that, we also enable portal. So our customers should be able to access what's going on in the building. So we provide a portal to the customer. And also, if you see within the warehouse, you use a lot of RF guns, RFID tags, printers, a lot of hardware goes in. And the IT also manages InfoSec, where we need to remediate any vulnerabilities, and also version management that goes in. As I said, it's not always we build, we also buy some software. There is SaaS models that are available. So we integrate with the third-party systems. Every time that customer comes, every time the new opportunity comes, we also evaluate, build, and buy. We need to find the right systems that are needed to enable this customer. When I say right system, it could be WMS, it could be Manhattan, it could be JDA, Blue Yonder, or Flare, or whatnot. Similarly, we evaluate what kind of LMS systems we need to use within that building. Next view is our preferred LMS. So, but Depending on the customer, we may enable different labor management systems. We also have systems to store the documents, call it as EDM, electronic document management. Part of this warehouse management, you need to scan, you need to store a lot of documents for every customer. So we manage all those documents through a system. On the floor, you see tens and hundreds of people working. Those are all like, operation people with, limited knowledge on the systems. We need to provide work instructions. All those documentation also stored in quality management system. And as I said, in the transportation, not only FedEx, there are many players in the market. Our customers needs the cheapest transportation cost. We integrate with different rate shopping third-party providers so that we can get better rate. So Easy Post is what we currently use to integrate to get the better rating. On the technology space, we also enable on the voice technology. Like, not always you have RF, you will get voice to go to aisle number 1 or 2 and then pick 2 units. So there is voice enabled. Our light technology. So in the put wall, there will be red, yellow, green. I don't have a slide, but the light will help the picker to go and pick the number of units. So there are different automations, as I said, MHEs, material handling equipments, and also conveyor belts and AGVs, we call it as automatic guided vehicles. So there are different technology that we use coming from different vendors. So we integrate our WMS to work with all these technologies. Any questions so far? I think that's the last slide I have. So this is what happens within FedEx supply chain, different systems, different customer clientele that I have. Then I am open for questions now, if any.
Thank you, Mr. Jai, for giving us that overview. I see that 2 questions have come on the chat, so I'm going to read them out to you. Meanwhile, I'd also request the rest of you, if you could unmute your audio and you can directly ask Mr. Jai the questions. So the first question is, what are the trade-offs faced by FedEx between adopting a proprietary system like Flare versus a third-party platform in terms of flexibility, control, and cost? This is by Ananta.
Okay. Thank you, Ananta. Thanks for that question. So the trade-offs, right? So if I use our homegrown Flare, 1, it is cost effective. 2, any capability that I build on our platform for a specific customer can be repurposed for others, for the current and future customers. That's the advantage of me building a capability on Flare. On the other hand, if I go to a third-party industry-leading WMS software, they come with the industry process. If I build to suit our need. If I go to the market, they have their own research. They have their own innovation department. They come with the best practices of the industry. So if I do on my own, I'm missing what is happening in the industry. That's a trade-off, I would say. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. So whenever there is a new request comes to me, I'll work with my business agility team. We have a business agility team where they have expertise and solution architects. Before we build, we will make sure, should it be buy versus build this capability. So we evaluate cost, timelines, which is extremely important because our customers have very rigid timelines. Sometimes they say that they do an SOW, statement of work, and then they say they want to go live in 90 days. I will not have an opportunity to build. I need to go after the market, see what is out there in the market. So it all depends upon the customer need, time, and money. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, and that's as you did. But just to probe a little bit, you mentioned about the trade-offs, about industry best practices that you would miss out. But what about the other side? Is there any FedEx-specific features that you built into your proprietary WMS that may not be there in, some of the best solutions out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there are a few, not all, because if you see Manhattan, it is almost 40 years into the market. Flare is 5 years baby.
Okay.
So yeah, but still we have our own homegrown specific features today, which not everybody have. Okay. So one of them, I would say we are, it's the roadmap is still going on. So every platform that we build, there are two types of costs that are associated, CapEx and OpEx, capital expenditure and operation expenditure, right? So, um, every time when the customer wanted to go to operations, let me put the operator, they want to go pick the product from different aisles. They go with the cart, they try to pick different items. When they try to go pick from the cart, they have to go to multiple stops to pick items. Everybody does route optimization, right? So if I need to pick like a 10 pieces from different locations to the warehouse, then system will direct them what is the best optimal route. That's known from many, many years. But what are all the tasks that should go onto the cart, right? Before even start the step one, operations should know what is the best optimal build cart I should do. That is something we have, we are building our own solution within the WM. It's not after building, but before building itself to optimize.
That's interesting. The next question is from Kavita. She says, "Hello, sir. Great to have insights and exposure to get to know FedEx as transforming the industry leader of global trade solution. May I know if robotic or humanoid technology is in-house, or are you having collaboration with robotic partners?"
Thank you, Kavita. Yes, we do have robotics already in place. Stryker is our customer. Currently, we do have robotics. Maybe in the next opportunity, I'll try to get a video of it. Humanoids is still in our research. We haven't adopted humanoid. That's definitely is one good opportunity we are looking at. But robotics is already there, and many MHs are already in the place.
Okay.
Thank you so
So again, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that because, we've all read about the Amazon warehouses where the Kiwi robots are used, and all of that is out there in the public. Can you give us a little bit more information about the robots that you are using in your warehouses?
Okay, so as I said, when you have a build card, people have to move around to pick inventory. But we have robots in place in Stryker where robots move to the locations. So person will stay in that aisle, that entire aisle, and they'll put the pieces in the robots. Robots will move around the aisles. One order may need to stop in 10 locations. Human doesn't have to walk around. It's a robot who is walking around. The person is going to put one or two inventory. Picking is not automated in that facility, but moving one location to other location is automated through robots. I will take it further. We also have a facility which is completely automated. It is completely driven by AI. You see humans only at the time of inbound. I didn't go to the true WMS operations. Like you have inbound, the inventory comes from the truck into the building. We do the inventory management and we'll ship it out called outbound. So three areas when you say WMS: inbound, inventory management, and outbound. So here, when I said complete automated warehouse, during inbound to download the inventory from the truck, we have humans. Once it is downloaded, the entire processes are automated. So we have complete automation as well. Again, the customer SKU or item profile need to meet into such complete automated warehouses. if I have a SKU or an item cannot be pick, packed, shipped through automation, a human intervention is needed, then you cannot adopt such things. So it all depends upon the customer profile, how much automation that you could go.
That's great to know that automation is not a one size fits all, no, but that you actually have it's according to customer needs. All right. So thank you, Kavita. I hope your question was answered. I see Samrud has raised his hand, so I'm going to just take Samrud's question before we go to the other two on the chat. Samrud, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, Samrud, go
Sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your insightful session. Sir, my question is quite general. Actually, even though we are seeing progress in terms of India, in terms of digitization and policy reforms, but most of our model mix in terms of transportation is still road dependent. So, from your global experience, what should India adopt to have a more balanced transportation networks?
Okay. So again, depends on the distance. If it is local, we have a different modes of transportation, right? So
Yes,
it
sir.
depends upon the delivery, the product, and the distance. We have different ways to ship the product.
Serious, but even though if it is being shipped from different parts of the country, they're preferring road transport.
So that's the cheapest way at this moment. But again, it depends upon the distance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I see Ananta has raised his hand again. Ananta, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your answering the previous questions. My question is this time is regarding you spoke about that FedEx is leveraging by integrating 100 plus systems. But my question is, like when you integrate a legacy systems, there are a lot of complications in data migration and architectural complication. But I want to know in your case, actually, what challenges you faced, while consolidating diverse legacy systems and data architectures into the unified global platform. Thank you.
So Ananda, thanks for your question. I didn't mean 100 systems, but more than 100 operations, more than 130 operations. So number of systems are, maybe 20 or plus within supply chain. So we have a very discrete process to integrate all the data into data warehouse. We call that as IDS, Integrated Data Systems. All these WMS, LMS, TMS, WMS is warehouse management system, LMS is labor management system, TMS is the transportation management system. So I'm just using the acronyms, but different systems we use to serve our customers. All these systems will have different databases. We ETL the data into IDS, and all the dashboards, reports, analytics happens on this IDS. So it's all backend process. It's not exposed. We show only analytics and dashboards to the customer. We do have a governance team, data governance team, where they do monitor access points, make sure that it is not been accessed unauthorized by anybody.
All right, thank you. So I'm going back to the chat. We have Bharatraj who has asked, with resilience happening, how is the tariff getting handled with FedEx Supply Chain? So question on tariffs is the
Yes,
key at the moment.
yes. Tariff has been spoken and modified in the recent times, as you all know. Luckily, supply chain doesn't have to worry about tariff. So I wasn't involved in the tariff enhancements, but there are other opcos where the clearance department heavily involved in making changes to the tariff module. So supply chain will get the inventory or distribute the inventory after the tariff.
Okay, so I hope Bharatraj that answers your question. All right. I remember the previous speaker had also spoken about resilience in supply chains because of the tariff effect. Looks like it's a very common
Yes.
hotspot out there. The next question is from Yogesh. Hello, sir. Any measure about the impact on environment in whole supply chain, and is it visible to stakeholders?
Yes. As part of liquidation, as I said, we do have reports, a daily, weekly, and monthly reports that we need to submit to our customers to make sure the returns and liquidation process is completed as per the both government and consumer SLAs. So yes, we do have a visibility of those processes to the stakeholders. It's part of VAS, value-added service.
Sanju Thomas, I see that you've raised your hand. You can go ahead and ask the question.
Yeah, thanks for having a wonderful session, sir. Yeah, Mr. Jay. And just wanted to understand, okay, how many countries you are presently operating? And are you covering the entire globe? Yeah, and one more thing, whether you are utilizing this delivery by drones also, and how it is helping the AI and this in this the region, especially in the Asian countries. Okay, whether it is how much means helping you to deliver the material, you will deliver the consignments in a faster manner.
Okay, thank you, Saju, for the question. So I manage, currently I manage is FedEx Supply Chain of North America. That means Canada, United States, and Mexico. So the other parts of the country, the world, right? It's APAC and Europe and other countries. There are different divisions. Today, they are managing the supply chain activities. Even though supply chain is a large organization, my focus is in northern part of America. But we have strides that are happening to expand the platform that I'm building across the globe. We haven't really started adopting the Flare into other areas because other areas having specific needs. And whenever you want to take a platform to global, there are so many things that we need to consider: language, unit of metrics, government rules, labor rules within that region. So there are many things that you need to adapt. So today, Flare or my focus is on the North America. One. Two, about the drones. Yes, there are areas that is being implemented, but not through my solutions at this moment.
Means third party solutions you are using, I think so.
Sorry, I couldn't
Third
follow.
party help solution you are using for this drone delivery.
Yes,
Drone
we have
delivery.
our drone delivery. Yes, we do have our enterprise internal research and development. They either work with the third party or build their own. So I'm not involved in that area at this moment.
Okay, sir. Thanks for your answer.
Thank you, Sanju, for your question. Is there anyone else who has any other questions? I think one question is, are you using the same software systems across the globe, or do you have different WMS for each region?
We do have different WMS softwares, as I said. Even within US, we use different softwares. We are trying to unify into our platform. As I said, different business verticals, different requirements, different operating models. It's challenging to have one solution or one system. Even though it becomes cheap or economical to have one system, it is difficult to adopt all operating processes into one platform. So it all depends. Right now, I would say we have different systems across the globe.
I think with this, we're going to close our Q&A session because we've also come to the end of our time. And I just want to thank Mr. Jai for having accepted our invitation and coming onto the platform to share his knowledge and insights, especially because, as you see, he is seated in the US. It's early morning time for him, whereas it's Friday evening and a late, after evening time for us. But he has very kindly accepted, though it is a strain to come at this time. He has made the provision and be here on the platform so that his knowledge can be shared with us. And it has been a very rewarding session today. We've had 45 plus people log into the platform and showing the interest that the topic and his session has generated. So once again, Mr. Jai, we are really thankful that you have come on as our speaker for the FedEx Smart Set Plus series. And we hope that, we could have more such sessions by you in the future.
Absolutely. And again, I'm humbled to have this session. Thank you for, having a session with me. I would love to hear any feedback, any constructive feedback to improve myself. So if you could collect some feedback from the audience, that would be great.
So I just want to thank all the audience who has been present with us throughout the session today. Thank you for your time and for joining us on this platform. If you have any feedback or would like to know more about this topic, please do reach out to us at the FedEx Smart Center, and we would, communicate it directly with Mr. Jai and get back to you. So with this, I wish you all a pleasant evening and see you at our next session, which we would announce shortly. So thank you all once again.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Yes.